Hello, I'm Pastor Dan Carter of the Eastway Church of God with a very special message for you today, and just to check in for your midweek connection here. In 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7, the Bible says that the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord, He looks on the heart. A few years ago, there was a businessman named Bobby Clark from Laurinburg. He was a friend to all the churches that were in that area, and he was very kind to me as a pastor. Bobby had a garage, and he was a junkyard specialist. Bobby Clark could see value in what other people would just simply discard. What many would call a junkyard, he called his gold mine. People still go to his establishment to find stuff that other people have damaged, thrown away, discarded, or considered worthless. Bobby Clark would bring it back to his garage or his storage lot and save it until someone needed it. When someone needed it, that's what gave it its value. When Bobby Clark looked at junk, he saw more than what meets the eye. He recognized a masterpiece in the making. Its value isn't seen until it's needed. He took things that were worthless and saved them, and they became useful and valuable because they were needed. Now there's a sermon in there somewhere. Isn't that a lot like what God does to you and to me? I believe that's where He found me. One night in 1970, after a terrible car accident right here on Matheson Avenue, just a few blocks from the church that I pastor, I found peace for my soul. Somewhere there's a 1970 Pontiac GTO with less than 500 miles on it, rusting away in a field, and it's probably worthless, but to me it brought me to Him that night. God brought me through that accident because He looked at me and saw something that I didn't recognize. He saw a treasure. Well, all of us are worthless until we meet Jesus, but once we meet Him, even if you were in the junkyard, He's able to go in and bring you out, to save you, turn you into something of great value. Because He needs you. There's a place in the kingdom, and that gives you great value. Turn your life over to Him because of His grace, and He'll take you from the junkyard to the front yard. And now you'll be valuable, a useful treasure in the hands of the Lord, a divine design for this special time. 1 Peter 5 says, the God of all grace, who has called you, will Himself restore and confirm and strengthen and establish you. That sounds a lot like Bobby, doesn't it? Or maybe in some ways, Bobby was a lot like Jesus.